have to do a tip run from the rubbish that we had from the weddings over the weekend. Got to drop back some higher candles as well, and then doing a market run for this week's wedding. We've had massive issues in freight this week. There's been an issue in the Middle East, so all of our flights got diverted and none of our flowers came in. So exciting. And obviously we didn't know that it was going to happen, so not a lot of people have any backups. So I will be fighting for my life at the markets. But yeah, I'm going to get a coffee this morning. Desperate for a matcha. I'm so tired, oh my gosh. And feel very run down at the moment. Uni has just started as well, so just having a look at all my subjects and all my assessments and exams I have to do. I'm a little bit nervous about that, especially running a full-time business as well. It's a little overwhelming. But alas, we have a cozy day today. As long as I can get things from the market, I'm happy. Honestly, I'm so happy. Good morning and happy Saturday. Today we have a beautiful wedding at Coast Port Beach here in WA. It's on the water in Fremantle. It's beautiful. Ceremonies on the beach. They're having a big arbor installation, draping fabric. It's going to be gorgeous and quite a relaxed wedding as well. So there isn't too much in the way of making. It's only the ceremony. We have quite a quick turnaround time. So Coast is a restaurant that they have a big events area and then they have ceremonies on the beach as well. So we have about a half an hour turnaround time for the ceremony, which is not a lot of time, and about an hour for the reception, which is super easy. The best part about this is we get to spy on our brides. So while they're getting married, we usually go and have our lunch break. Sorry, my fridge just turned on, so if you can hear that. Yeah, we'll go and usually have our lunch break but Coast have these beautiful, gorgeous glass windows that looks out onto the beach. So we'll be able to kind of spy on the wedding, make sure that everything goes well, and watch as well, which is really fun and a beautiful opportunity to do. Usually we're hiding in bushes or in the van, like looking down over ceremonies, waiting for them to finish to make sure we get our timings right. But this one we get to sit inside, which will be really nice, and obviously get something to eat, maybe some hot chippies. But we just thought that this wedding would be a really good one to take you on kind of a day in the life. It's not as stressful or overwhelming as some of the other weddings that we have done before. The bigger the scale, the more time and effort you need to put into making sure that things go well, for one. And secondly, another really important thing is we are here for our brides before anything else. So our couples are our main focus. So if the filming takes away from that, we obviously won't film. And we won't use that energy in capturing what we're doing rather than putting our all and our best into the work that we're providing for them. So this morning, all I've done is I've had a very slow morning, actually. It's quite nice. We tend to have slow mornings for weddings, which is really wonderful. So I had a cooked breakfast by my husband. It was very nice. Got ready for the day, moseyed on in, and then I've just made some of the ceremony pieces that will be easy to transport as well, especially with reflexed roses. Doing anything the night before is such a nightmare. They bruise so easily, things get damaged. So we try and make everything on the day if possible, but obviously all our bouquets and table arrangements and things we can definitely make the day before. This is why we have fridges, and it would be shocking if things didn't last more than 24 hours based on what we're making as well. So these table arrangements, all these pieces will probably last a good week and a half if they look after them. They keep them watered and things, so keep them nice and fresh. But yeah, so yeah, this morning I made a couple of pieces, just kind of fiddling around. Tora will be here at 10:30. It is now 10 past 10. So we'll bind bouquets and then box them up, get them ready for the bride. We will bind buttonholes and things for the groom and all the groomsmen, so getting everything ready and presented well, because obviously it's a very big and special day, so we want to make sure everything looks as pretty as possible for them. So yeah, so we'll bind bouquets, which essentially is just finishing them off and then binding ribbon around, pinning the ribbon, making sure it all looks neat and tidy, cutting the stems, and then we will kind of prep all of our things we need, our toolbox, anything we could need for on the day, all of our emergency things, drills, tent pegs, cable ties, dustpans, drop sheets, ladders, trolleys, all that kind of jazz. Then we'll pack the van and then we'll kind of be on our way. So a usual typical wedding day will consist of us dropping off either bouquets or buttonholes first, whoever is A, closest, or B, has the quickest time constraint. So we try to match when the photographers arrive at the getting ready photos. So the boys are very quick usually. We can kind of like drop and run, explain a little bit about how to pin on the buttonholes, and then that's it. The girls tend to take a little bit more time. You get to chat to them, and then we explain how to hold the bouquets and things like that. So a really fun element to it. We're going to try and film as much as we can today to give you a real like behind the scenes look of what our day looks like. Really hope it turns out well. I hope we can film enough. So obviously our brides are our first priority, and our couples making sure we can deliver the best we possibly can. But we would love to take you on today to see what it's like. It's not as glamorous as people think. It's a lot of lifting, a lot of maneuvering. Things take a bit of time, which people don't realize as well. So everyone kind of thinks, oh, wedding flowers are so expensive. It's like, yeah, they are. The flowers are quite expensive, and also the labor. Also everything that goes behind the scenes I work a full week, full 40 hours before the wedding even starts. And then obviously on the wedding day as well, we're out for probably like 10 to 12 hours at a time. So it will be very fun to see how this vlog turns out. last week was debrief about our wedding at Coast. So you would have seen all of the beautiful clips of us making it. However, it was a very short turnaround. So the wedding was at 3 p.m. The arbor didn't get set up until 2, and then we obviously had to do an install on it, like a big corner piece and then 2 side pieces as well. So it wasn't massive, however it was big enough to have needed a good 45 minutes at least. And the couple weren't very prepared in weather-wise, especially for the beach. They had a marquee that was probably the flimsiest marquee I've ever seen in my life. I think they just weren't expecting it to be windy on the beach at 2 p.m. When it always is. So we ended up helping them kind of sandbag everything down and make things look nice with our leftovers that we had. So we always take spares, always take leftovers. So many times we have had couples forget to order throwing pedals or not have anything to throw, for like they haven't spoken to their photographers, thought that they didn't need it and then they did on the day. So we always have spare roses, especially just in case if we just need to crack a few heads and kind of get some petals going for them. We're more than happy to do that. We don't charge for those kinds of things. It's more just a courtesy thing for people who forget, because they've obviously paid for their wedding in total, so they've paid for all the stems that they're using. So regardless of whether we use that rose in an install, in their bouquet, as throwing petals, like they're paying for the use as well. So we always have spares for our ceremony, and then whatever we don't use in the ceremony we take to all of our reception florals, and then we just kind of beef them up. Like we'll add more stems in for that. So yeah, our setup for our reception was really cruisy. We just kind of placed everything out, and then we sign our guest books as well for all of our guests, which is such a fun thing that I really encourage vendors to do more often, is to sign your guest books of the people that are getting married, because it's such a special day, and to be able to give them a little message to say, you know, we wish you all the best in the future. And it's a memory as well, and they want all of their guests to sign the book so that they know who's been there, who was there, they can look back on it. And it's so special as well. Florals are a massive part of the day. I find they can make or break a wedding, definitely. So it was very fun. So we took our little Polaroid and we signed the guest book, and then the venue kindly moved our ceremony pieces into the reception, which was lovely. Usually we'd have to go back for movement, but they were very kind to us, so we got a bit of an early mark, which was lovely. So this week is a very quiet week for us, but you'll kind of see that in the next vlog. But yeah, so moral of the story is, if you're getting married on the beach, please sandbags, tent pegs, anything you could possibly think of, and make them pretty too. Get some extra fabric to cover it up, make sure your marquees are strong enough, make sure you've got enough time as well. I think that's one thing working with external vendors, when we don't supply our own arbors or our plinths, things like that for our installations, we're waiting on somebody else, and it's my worst nightmare, because then we're rushed. And then so we were quite rushed at the end, which is not ideal, but it turned out beautifully. She loved every part of it, so it turned out really great. So I hope you enjoyed a little day in the life. I hope to be doing a few more of them as well. Let me know if you like them. It's very fun. It's very hard to film when we're out and about, and especially with the chaos of the wedding. Obviously they're our first priority, so see what clips I got out of it and what you're able to see. But if you'd like to see a little bit more, let me know.